Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. We're going to continue our journey in discovering a little bit more about this ancient yet still relevant and amazing language a day. So one word a day, one phrase a day. 与君共勉 was what we talked about yesterday. Is the way to say, here I'm sharing this pearl of thoughts with you, something that can both lift us up. So 勉 is like push yourself further, kind of motivational saying that's sharing with your friend. So we will say 与君共勉. So today is 与生俱来. It's kind of similar. It's something about a sharing, but it's a different way of sharing. Again, 与 repeat. The meaning comes from a combination of two symbols. One is this horizontal line. So if you remove this horizontal line, the remaining of them is our symbol for scooping. And the scooping comes from the shape of the scoop, kind of looking like that. And with the thing indicated in the scoop. But what can throw us off is it's rotated from horizontal scoop to vertical. This doesn't work like visually, right? It's kind of anti-gravity. Something in the scoop standing vertically. It doesn't work like that. But that's how Chinese save space. We sometimes stack up things that's supposed to be laid out horizontally, but horizontal takes more space. So we stack up vertically. Same thing, just don't plug in the gravity over there. So that's our scoop. And then there's one on the top, one scoop things. That means you are willing to scoop from what you have and share with people. So that eventually becomes the concept of with. Next one, 生. We have basically like two parts, but are seamlessly connected. One is the bottom part with two horizontal lines and one vertical line in between. That's our symbol for soil. And here is how it's visualized. This is the ground level. So this is like between the air and the earth, this line. And then this vertical line means something is growing in it, but we don't know if this thing is live or dead, right? And so there is this horizontal line pointing down to mean this is something underground, beneath the surface level. So this is our indicator to say, okay, look below the surface level. So that's what we mean. It's our soil. And then we do have something growing on top of it. So if you see three of it, it's our abstraction to mean it's flourishing, it's growing, it's alive. So something alive above the ground, above the soil, simply means life. That's our way to express by a plant, a visual representation of a plant growing from the soil. That's our life symbol. And 句, we have left and right side. So left side is this kind of a tilted human figure. So there is this contemporary form, but when it was written in the past, it came in this size. So shape, it doesn't look symmetrical, but still it's like two legs. It's a structure like that. That's our human figure, generic. So there's no gender, no age, no seniority, nothing implied by this. This is generic human figure. And then on the right side is the sound maker, but the sound maker also have the meaning. It looks like an eye, right? So we talked before about how things horizontally stack up vertically. So this is our eye. Picture it like horizontally. If you look at that oval shape laid out horizontally, that looks more like eye image, right? But now it's flipped at 90 degrees upward. And then we have two hand symbol. holding something, kind of holding up the eyeball. I mean, it's pretty abstract. How can an eyeball be held up between two hands? It turned out this eyeball was a simplification of something that kind of looking like that. So this is this is a simplification of that. It doesn't look like an eyeball, right? So even if in further down history of the language, it got simplified and people view it as it's the same as the eyeball symbol, but originally came from this cookware almost. So this is something in cooking in ancient times that kind of look in a particular shape. I guess they make a copper or bronze cookware, and then the hand are like people working near the stove, prepare food. So we have food preparation here next to people, human figure, a person next to food. That is the way to express together. So food are meant to be shared. If somebody is cooking, especially this two hand symbol is kind of an implication of there more than one person involved. So it's something about eating. It's something about companionship. It's people involved, multiple people actually. So that eventually becomes our together. So with life together, arrive. So this arrive came from our wheat symbol, which is looking like this. So the stem, okay, so that's a stem, no question about that. And then we have this arch. This arch kind of indicate there is a space between the top of the grain portion of the plant and the ground. So there is a space, kind of empty over there, space indicator, I'll say. And then these two repeated signs, I mean, two is enough to say they're multiple, kind of draping down, weighing on the plant to make it drooping, right? So that means it's about harvest time. The grains are like grown heavy on top of the plant. And it's the wheat going to be harvested soon. And that in an agriculture society is a big deal. That's something, the harvesting of the wheat, it's something to look forward to. And that in turn, this hopeful, expected incoming harvest becomes the abstraction base for incoming, something to come, something we know is going to happen. We see it on there waiting for us to harvest, right? So that's our symbol of something to come, something to arrive. So with life together arrive, 与生俱来 is Chinese way to say innate. So it's our way. I wanted to say elegant way. It is different from English, because English we have this in that mark it's within, but we use within or together with life. We emphasize it as life. Like if you're a living being a plant or a person, you're probably you have a lot of genetic inheritance that within you comes with your life, that you already have it within, embedded in you, so to speak. So that's our way to express its innate quality, 与生俱来. Something like something like what is innate quality? Like people will go hungry, that's innate quality, or people like to explore, that's also innate qualities. And people, I don't know, humans get jealous, that's innate quality. So a bunch of qualities that we're born with, right? We are hunter-gatherer, like starting from that, and then a lot of habits encoded in us until 2022. We still inherit some of that generic coding within us. And so that's our 与生俱来. or the tendency to speak language, right? That's a cultural thing too. Like we have this ability, our brain is equipped to encode and decode language. It's a pretty complicated process. That's why it takes years, at least a year, for a baby to hear enough of human language to make sense to start baby talk, gradually master the language. It's really a long process. But that at the beginning, it has to be within us. We already have that. It just needs to be developed. So I put together this plant image next to our ancient way to express what is life. You can see the similarities between the two. So it's just we have this ground and underground soil underneath it, and we have something growing. And even if we only use like 3 branches out there to mean something growing, and that's enough to show a common pattern in nature, right? So there is this main reaching toward the sun beam of this plant, and then they are going to be spreading out branches of it, or leaves of it. In this case, it's ferns, right? And from each fern, they are further split. And I guess if in a microscopic level lens, you probably will see further splitting, but this is probably a basic structure from main thing spread out to branching out to, and that's enough to represent plant. All right, 与生俱来. Catching into the currency of thinking with one word a day. With me, Sophie. See you another day.